All right, Baku. Okay, so today we're gonna just record a session. It's pretty hot out here, so we're probably gonna go for less than 10 minutes. Be a nice little bit to put on Uncut. We're gonna work with the e-collar today. We're still gonna do some conditioning um, type work, and then maybe do a little bit of intermittent, slightly higher level, just to. Obviously, I've got my food pouch here. We will be using food rewards, and I've got a toy that he loves too that we'll bust out probably towards the end. I'll let him sniff around for a second. Got a new strap with bungee on it, so see how this does. Baku, Baku, Baku. Good boy, good boy, good boy. Good boy. There we go. Good dog. Okay. Give him some extra space on the flexi. I haven't cut this down yet, so this is going to be a little awkward, but we'll be all right. All right, Baku. Good boy. Hey, hey, heads up. Good dog. Good dog. Good boy. Okay. Remember, whenever you're fitting an e-collar and really a flat collar, if you want to be able to fit 2 fingers under there and it be pretty snug still. If you feel like it's too tight, you can always loosen up one. I think it might be a little bit too tight. There we go. That's good. And then we'll just kind of bow wrap the rest of this in. I know, buddy. I know. And this is another reason why you really want to have food readily available, so that when I finish it, I can go, yes, and have him be excited for food. Is probably going to touch on what I see around TikTok and YouTube with dog training here some, just to kind of contrast with what I'm doing. He gets really excited for the food pouch. I was watching a training video earlier today with someone who I don't think is very good. I like to watch training I don't agree with to see how the dog's responding and to honestly see if anything they're doing might have some value. Um, and I think that's important for all of us trainers to do, is to just never just completely write somebody off, because if somebody's got a platform and a clientele that is coming through, they're providing some value and some results to some people, and so what are they doing that's effective versus just they suck, I'm not going to look at anything they do. I don't like that. There's even down to Dog Daddy. Like, I'm not defending anything that he's done, but if you watch his videos, turn off the sound, watch the dogs, watch what he's doing, and you'll see how what he does is effective for him, but it doesn't translate once you hand the dog back to the owner, because the owner has to have that same kind of approach, and it's too harsh. It's not sustainable for a healthy relationship with your dog. But back to what we're doing here. I'm going to start with the e-collar at 4 for Baku. He's typically worked pretty low. I'm going to let him just sniff around, and I'm going to try to move and get some distance from him. Come. Good. Oh, wait. Yes. And so we'll get through that jumping at me for the food by doing it this way. The trainer I was talking about earlier that I watched and agree with, which was Dog Daddy, was just every time a dog would come up, he's just kneeing him right in the chest. And it was a lab who did not care about the knee to the chest. And so he kept doing it, and it wasn't going to break it. What will be more effective long term is waiting through that jump till he sits, then delivering the food, marking and delivering the food. Yes. Yes. Waiting for eye contact, all the little things. And he's pushy. I love this guy. I don't want to shut him down, though. I like that. I like the exuberance out of him. We just need to get it to be appropriate. Come. Oh, yes. And this is part of his meal for the day, and just a few extra treats mixed in to kind of give it some build. I do love the Bill Jack treats. Bill Jack's a great company. They're small. They have a good product. I'm not paid by them. I just love their stuff. I'm not paid by anybody. That's why I'm doing my training on the internet. Hey, Bubba. Hey, Bubba. Good boy. Good dog. And so that time I didn't give a command, but I did tap the e-collar just to make sure that we were having connection and he was feeling it. Because if we don't have contact and he's not feeling it, oftentimes it's kind of good with your dog to maybe put the e-collar on and just do normal training and practice without the remote on or the collar on, to work on getting your timing down, but also then it's going to improve your dog training overall because you're not actually using the collar, uh, and they're responding to the commands and cues. Come. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So that time, didn't use the collar. Also, didn't mark with my YES word. I just said, good boy. Because he's a good boy. He comes back, gets a good boy, gets 11. Yes, he does. Okay. Go on. Go on. You're not getting anything for that. Come. Oh, yes. I did use the collar that time in the reward. So obviously at 4, he's working really well. Um, and there's not a ton of great distractions out here. I wish a cat or something would come by or another dog would bark. He'd get worked up for that, and I could then work the training, work his recall with that, which is all we're really working with right now. I'm not. This isn't a complicated tool. It doesn't. There aren't special buttons for sit or down or recall or go away from me or whatever. Place command, whatever. Come. Good boy. Yes. And another thing is with recall, getting this, I'm going to start marking as he's approaching to me rather than once he stops and sits. And then he can jump on me all at once. Once he hears that YES, the marker word, he's free to come get the food. And I don't care how he gets it. If it's dangerous for me, we'll address that. But it's not for me. I can handle this guy. For other dog owners, though, that might need a little bit firmer approach, they probably need it. And it's not, we shouldn't be criticizing dog owners for having to use tools or stronger physical communication methods when they need that to keep their dog safe, themselves safe, and live a happy life with their dog. I can't wait. Eventually we'll get to the point where I take this guy out off leash somewhere. Come. Yes. Free. I'm going to get him to go away so that we can practice again. And when you're in the conditioning phase, like I said, I'm at 4. I cannot feel 4 in my hand on the e-collar. Lowest I feel like on my hand is 8 or 9. And sometimes on some days, depending on how I'm holding it, I don't even feel it till it's at like 12 or 13. But if you actually, and this is where I disagree with some e-collar users, they like to test it on your hand. Put it up against your neck. You're going to feel a lot more of the collar that way. So, and you're going to get a more accurate representation of what your dog's feeling if you put the contact points on your own neck and test the collar that way. But like I said, 4 is very, very low. Come. Good boy. So we're still conditioning. So when I say come, I press the button. He comes, he gets a reward. And that's what it is. I can reward with a marker word or without, as long as the timing on the actual delivery of the reward's good. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn the collar up some. And we're going to start working more intermittent. So we're going to go up to 20. And for this guy, 20 is really not much. Baku, come. Yes. The more we go through, the more reps we can do. And I did not use the collar that time. Come. Good boy. Good boy. Here's my boy. All right. Free dog. So I'm just kind of go and do this thing. And obviously, with the flexi, I'm not, I got 1 or 2 fingers in it. I'm not working to let him hit. I don't ever want him hitting the end of this leash. I want him to just be right here with me the whole time. Or not necessarily with me, but, within the range of the flexi. Come. Yes. And this is all just patterns, behavior patterns that we're working on. So the pattern, you know, he's just excited. He's a forward, confident dog. And I did use the collar there at 20. I don't know if you could even see him react. Come. So that time I didn't use the collar, and he came real quick. So, and then we get the reward, mark the reward. So there's 4. I use Larry Crone's e-collar methods pretty much. If you haven't ever seen his stuff, he's got a $10 book on Amazon. Go buy it, and an $80 video course. Great stuff. And it gives you just kind of your general outline of how you should be using the collar. There's also The Art of Training Your Dog by Mark Goldberg and the Monks of New Skeet, who I absolutely think are very good dog trainers, and their usage of the collar is very similar to Larry's, very low level, and then you work up to the point where you're really not using the collar except for in emergency situations, which for any tool that is used for like the life of the dog, that should be the mindset. Like, we need this for when shit goes down, because I know this dog well enough to know that when shit goes down, it doesn't much matter. And that's why we're working on normal training. Come. Yes. This isn't good. Tangly. I did use collar there. I feel like he's coming. It looks more like he's jumpy when I'm not using the collar rather than when I am. And that goes to another point, which is once they understand this, once the dog understands the sensation of what the e-collar stim is, there's an understanding that permeates anytime they feel it at any level. I can turn this up to 60 and that's kind of where we're at for his maintenance phase, reinforcement phase, emergency usage phase. Come. Good boy, good boy, good boy. I'm going to start doing this too. Like I said, I'm going to start cutting him off before he has the opportunity to jump. Did not mark with the white ES there. I'm just going to give him some good affection. Free dog. And set him free. All right. And he's done pretty well. So that's just a few reps on that. Doesn't need to be a ton. And now we will have some fun. Come on. Sit. Yes. And I just like tug. And it's okay for them to win. Your dog can win tug. It's fine. It's not going to create a monster out of them. And then he resource guards too. So when he brings this back to me, I reach down and grab it. And I'm not going to let go of the flexi, but I'm also not going to lock it at any point during play because I don't want him hitting the end of the collar. Ah, he's crazy. And he likes to grab the handles of this thing. I know. You're a crazy boy. You're a crazy boy. I know. Out. Nose is out. Yes. And that's why your marker word's so important. Yes. Good boy. So he's a pretty reactive guy. When the neighbor throwing away the trash, I'm focused. I'm only saying the marker word because yes, he knows it's going to come back and get him some food. Charge your marker word all the time. Every day you go out and start training. Spend a minute making sure that marker word, yes, is on. Is working for them. Yes. Whoa, sir. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, there you go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to keep trying to get the pillow into his mouth instead of the handles, because although he likes biting the handles better, and he's kind of insane. I have to be careful with this guy. But he's a sweetheart. Out. Yes. Yes. No, not the handles. Here. There you go. Quit biting for the hands. Sit. Wait. Yes. Good boy. Out. Good. Good boy. So, like I said, he gets intense, which is why we do the e-collar work. Because just positive reinforcement treat work, he gets too worked up. Come. Yes. Fine. Told you yes. And that's the other thing too is for play, We'd been using the marker word white yes with the play for a while, but clearly he prefers food. So we'll stick with food. Here, you wanna play? Baku, 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 Baku. Get it. There you go. There you go. There you go. Ah, get it. Okay, make sure you don't hit the end of that. He's a fun boy. He's a fun dog. But once we're done with all this, we'll go back in, we'll get a drink, and just, give him the opportunity to chill out for a while. And let's process what we did. And we'll do it all again later. He'll get some free time around the house with the other dogs, get to do all that. So he's getting kind of done. Come. Yes. Get the last of his food out of here. Baku. Yes. Just give him some time. Now that he's got his nose in there, we'll do one last good rep with the e-collar at the intermittent level. Come. Yes. And so he blew that off pretty good for the most part. I probably had to hit the button 4 or 5 times before he was done with what he was doing and coming. So, and I don't want to use the collar so much like that. So next time, come. Good boy. Yes. So that time I only pressed it once and I just held it down until he got up, and it only took a second or so. Come. Yes. And so that time, I used it, I held it down until he started to come to me. And in the moment where I let go, he had almost started to go back because it wasn't turning off right away. But as soon as it turned off, he realized what happened, came on back to me. So said 20s are pretty good. If you put 20 in your hand, you're gonna give yourself a little, oh, that's good, but it doesn't hurt. And at this point, after we've gone through all of that conditioning phase, obviously he doesn't really care much about it. Come, yes, and that's how I'm gonna use it. And he's still getting a good amount of rewards. Still trying to get this pouch emptied on us, but I'm gonna just toss the toy away because we clearly don't need it. Come. Good boy. Free. Yeah, you getting tired? Pretty warm out, isn't it? All right. All done. Let's get the phone.